Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's One Piece video, we're going to talk about one of Luffy's greatest rivals, and potentially best teachers, the billion-dollar man and donut aficionado, Charlotte Katakuri. Now, the battle between Katakuri and Luffy is arguably one of the best fights in One Piece to date, and during this fight, Luffy had to overcome his limits in order to defeat Katakuri, and was a fight in which Luffy almost lost his life due to the injuries he sustained. But because of his Gear 4 Snake Man, Luffy managed to defeat Katakuri. Once the battle was over, Katakuri questions Luffy if they will ever fight again, and Luffy's answer was a resounding yes. Currently in the manga, so as far as we know, Katakuri is still in Whole Cake, while his mother has just been defeated in Wano. But should this news somehow reach Katakuri's ears, we could see him going to Wano to defeat those responsible for hurting Big Mom. In today's video, we're going to talk about the possibility of Katakuri going to Wano to rescue Big Mom, and the possibility of a rematch between Luffy and Katakuri. Now, before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, we'd be honored if you'd consider leaving us a like or even subscribing with a comment, letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, and if you like our content, consider sharing the video with friends to help the channel out even more. But without further ado, let's get into the video. To begin, Charlotte Katakuri is the third child and second son of the Yonko Big Mom, and is considered the strongest among all of her children. He is one of the people responsible for defending Whole Cake Island from invaders, and the additional role of protecting his mother if necessary. Now, during the Straw Hats' invasion of Whole Cake Island, Katakuri faced Luffy in an intense battle where Katakuri held the upper hand for most of the confrontation. But once Luffy activated his Gear 4 Snake Man, the battle swung over into Luffy's favor. After his victory, Luffy vowed to return to Whole Cake for a rematch with Katakuri. This makes Katakuri happy and hopeful to see Luffy again, because even though they are enemies, they each recognize the other's strength. So rather than enemies, Luffy and Katakuri probably more consider themselves to be rivals after this incredible conflict. But Katakuri's plans may change, because Big Mom at this very moment is defeated and extremely wounded, and has no one who can help her, because her other children are missing since falling off Wano's waterfall. The only one who would be able to notify Katakuri about what happened to Big Mom would probably be Prospero, because he's participating in the battle that is currently taking place in Wano. So through some sort of communicator, he might be able to notify his family in Whole Cake of the situation. Upon hearing the news, many will want to go to Wano to help their mother. However, only a few may actually go, since they need some people to remain to keep Whole Cake safe. So among this small crew that might go to rescue Big Mom, one would certainly be Katakuri. And with Katakuri's arrival in Wano, there may be an incredible fight between Luffy and himself again, but both may be stronger as Luffy has learned to improve his haki and his overall techniques. Katakuri, for his part, waiting for this rematch, may have also improved his skills to be able to beat Luffy, so if Luffy defeats Kaido, he might actually get that rematch with Katakuri sooner than he thought. But following the aftermath of whatever happens in this battle, Katakuri might see Luffy all bruised up from his continuous fights, and may even just pass on the moment to fight him after all, because it wouldn't be a fair fight, and as we know, Katakuri is an honorable person. So perhaps he might just come to Wano only to rescue Big Mom, because she still might be alive after her conflict against Law and Kid. So rescuing his mother would be his main goal, because at some point, Katakuri knows that Luffy will come back to defeat Big Mom, so he knew that he would face him in the future, and there's really no hurry to defeat Luffy now. Besides that, a long time would allow Katakuri to become even stronger to face off with Luffy, because as we know, he managed to acquire a new power after his last defeat against Kaido. So if given the time, Katakuri will get even stronger in order to face Luffy, who after the Wano arc will have the power level of a Yonko. And the time that Luffy will take to return to Whole Cake may be enough for Katakuri to get even stronger. With the arrival of Big Mom's son in Wano, that would be able to track her down, and after a possible retreat, there would be no more reason for them to fight. Once Big Mom's was safe, Katakuri might return just to remind Luffy of his promise to face him again in the future. Now let's be honest, this fight would be even more incredible than the first one, because both would have had the chance to enhance their haki and their fruits to be even more powerful than their first match, and being able to evenly match the fight of two Yonkos and capable of destroying every environment around them. Katakuri seems to be the only villain so far with a very honorable personality, and many people like him because of his power and his serious but kind-natured personality. Katakuri also has a very serious and practical behavior, caring a lot about the crew and his family's goals. With his very high level of observation haki, Katakuri is able to see a little bit into the future and make intelligent judgments, and he is dedicated to efficiently dealing with all possible threats, and he might be the only one of Big Mom's children who can act without instructions from Big Mom herself. Now this is shown when he quickly rejects Jigra's entrance after predicting that her attempt to take her mother's life would be fruitless, and when he prompted or decided to shoot Sanji himself when he predicted that the original plan would fail, and not waiting for Big Mom to decide what to do. Katakuri even has the tendency to predict what other people might say and respond to them before they actually speak. However, this calm temperament is shaken when he predicts a terrible future, such as when he turned pale with the fear of the events to come. Now, despite this serious nature, Katakuri is extremely caring, and was revealed revealed that when he used his powers from his fruit to create earplugs, not only for himself, but also for his brothers. And like his mother, he is incredibly passionate about sweets, as when he stated that sugar is his source of power, and he schedules his snack times at the same time every day, which makes those hours exceptionally precious to him. Now, Katakuri expressed visible irritation when Luffy made him 40 minutes late for his snack, although he ended up accepting his challenge in eating time because he was fighting an opponent who actually was entertaining him. Now, when it's time for Katakuri to have his snack, he isolates himself so that no one can see him eat, because he's extremely greedy and sloppy and very self-conscious, talking to himself about how the food tastes and if he's really enjoying what he's eating. Now, when Luffy witnessed him eating with his face exposed, Katakuri became completely enraged and brutally took the lives of the chefs who were nearby, his anger growing when he misinterpreted a chef's comment as relating to the state of his mouth. You see, Katakuri is very self-conscious about his appearance and keeps his face hidden to make him look like his brothers, and Katakuri does not allow anyone to see his face, not even his family, because he really fears what they will say when they see him. When people other than his family see his true face, an entirely burning hatred flows within him. So Katakuri tries to eliminate this person as quickly as possible so that this information about his face will never get out. However, after his sister Flambe interfered with his fight with Luffy, he willingly showed his full face to her while scolding her. But this caused her to lose all respect for him, so she and her subordinates cruelly mocked and ridiculed him over his mouth. Although quite sad, Katakuri no longer seemed to care about his appearance, and instead decided to no longer hide his mouth and face Luffy, who he recognizes as a worthy opponent. Because of his status as the strongest of Big Mom's pirates, and his family adoring him for his perfect image, Katakuri goes to great lengths to ensure that his status is always protected. However, Katakuri is shown to have a lot of stress about the image his family puts on him, and that's really why he tries to keep his snack time private. Now, despite suffering his first defeat at the hands of Luffy and having his perfect image destroyed, Katakuri no longer seems to care about his image and chooses to embrace his true self. Katakuri is also an honorable man who doesn't like other people interfering in his fights. Although he considers Luffy an enemy and wishes to eliminate him personally before he can become a threat, he wishes to beat him fairly. Now, after his defeat to Luffy, Katakuri showed no hatred, much less any resentment towards Luffy, and just stood up to simply question about whether Luffy would return one day to defeat his mother. When Luffy stated that he would come back and also stated that he would become king of the pirates, Katakuri wished his opponent luck. Now, as a combatant, Katakuri is exceptionally strong and was one of the first characters to have shown advanced observation haki and has very high strength and abilities. Now, in addition to his exceptionally good haki skills, Katakuri also possesses the power of the Mochi Mochi no Mi, which is a special paramecia fruit, and also having awakened it, he can create, control, and transform into mochi at will, as if it were a Logia fruit. We saw this Logia-like intangibility when Capone Beige tried to hit him. Using the power of his future sight, he was able to manipulate his body structure to avoid attacks, and is even able to dodge attacks infused with haki and remain unharmed. Now, just like Luffy, Katakuri is extremely creative when using his fruit, and using the mochi to create techniques similar to Luffy's, being able to stretch himself out, and even being able to use several techniques that Luffy used with his rubber fruit. It may be because of this great resemblance between Luffy and Katakuri that he has become one of the most beloved villains in One Piece. A fight between Luffy and Katakuri in the future will be incredibly interesting, as we'll be able to see the two fight for real again. A fight in which Katakuri would be able to copy most of Luffy's ability, making it a very intense fight. But for now, we'd like to know what you think about it. Do you think Katakuri will show up in Wano to save Mom and remind Luffy of his promise? How much destruction do you think we'll see in Luffy and Katakuri's next battle? And if so, who do you think will win? Leave your opinion in the comments below. As we close out this video, we'd like to thank you so much for watching the video until the very end. Comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos, and if you made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.